Bed. Love.
Bed.
Bed.
Love.
Beyond.
Beyond.
Bed, love, beyond. Bed, love, beyond.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bed Love Beyond, the podcast for the hopeful and the hater in us to discuss sex, love, and whatever's clever with like-minded people like you who are also in limbo with love.
Like us.
Thank you for listening to us on Podbean, iTunes, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, and
Google Play Music.
yes, and episode 49 is Holidays with Your Honey, Joy to the World, or Run, Rudolph, Run.
I think it depends on who it is, but
Yeah, very true, very true. And before we get started, we have a guest. We've been piling on the guests, and I think you guys like that when we have guests on. So this is a budding podcast, and it's called The Way We See It, and it's with Chris and Weldon. So how you guys doing?
Good.
Doing
Thanks.
well.
Good. Thanks for having us.
welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Strap in. We're going for a ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, can I update the listeners?
Absolutely.
My mom answered me finally.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Well, you have to tell them.
Okay, so last week we were talking about who says I love you first. Like, who should say it, the man or the woman.
Okay.
So I was, like, randomly texting people during the podcast, and I asked my mom. And I was pretty surprised at what my mom said, because my parents, I guess, in my eyes, have, like, a pretty traditional, like, textbook marriage. I mean, besides the fact that my dad was married twice before my mom and had 3 other kids already. I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
Right.
That's what it was. And they're 9 years apart. So I asked my mom, I was like, well, who said I love you first? And she said, I said I love you first. And then she said, after we made love, to where I replied, ew.
Thanks, Mom.
And she's like, well, you asked. And she's like, I had to say I love you first. He had too many lovers. I was like, what the fuck?
Boy.
And then she said, and then he said, I love you back. And I was like, that's great, Mom. And then she's like, why do you want to know? And I was like, it's for a podcast. Which then she was like, where's the podcast? Where can I hear it? And then my brother was like, I called her on the phone.
Yeah.
She's like, where's the podcast? I want to hear it. Where do I listen to it? I was like, no. And my brother's like, Mom, you don't want to know. She's like, what is she talking about? Sucking dick? And he's like,
shit.
Oh,
he's
my.
like, well, Mom, if she is, you don't want to hear it, right? He's like, just let it go. And I'm like, oh my God. So then on Thanksgiving, she goes to my boyfriend. She's like, hey, do you know about this podcast? He turns to me. He's like, what do I say? She's like, no, you tell me the truth. She's like, or you're going to get kicked out of here. I was like, don't start with him. I was so embarrassed. He was like, I don't know. I listened to it, but I don't really know about it, and I don't know where to find it. I was like,
See, now
that's
that's
no.
a story you should tell every holiday, starting with Mom saying I love you after making love. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Wow, that's crazy.
She's like, you asked. I was like, I don't know if I wanted to know.
I'm surprised that she actually like wants to like listen now, because I remember
No,
before
she-
she was like, what's a podcast and all this stuff.
Yeah, I was like, none of your business. That's what it is.
That's funny.
She doesn't need to listen.
Mhm.
She just needs to listen to her, like, I don't know.
Can I weigh in on that
Mm-hmm.
as far as who should say I love you
Yes,
first?
please.
I feel like that's a big thing where like, oh, I say it, you say it. Like some people think the weaker person says it first, which I totally don't believe.
Mhm.
I think if the relationship's right there and you trust each other, it kind of doesn't matter who says it.
Right.
As cornball as that sounds. But
No, I mean,
yeah, if you guys love each other, you guys have trust. Who cares who says it first?
true.
But it's always a thing. Like people are always like, oh, he said it first or she said it first. But, you know, it's whatever.
Yeah.
And I know we asked our favorite listener, April, and she said that she said it first.
Yes.
But this weekend we had like a deeper conversation about it, and she said that she said I love you first, and she's like, I said to him, you don't need to say it back. I know how I feel, so I'm just gonna tell you, and then you could just do what you want with it.
That's what's up.
So
That's
she
brave.
just said, like, I knew how I felt, so I just wanted to get it out there and tell him. I was like, go ahead, April.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Yeah, that's the position I took. I said it when I felt it. I believe I was first.
Okay.
In my current relationship, my wife, I think I said it first. So,
Nice.
and I just went with it, and it didn't matter if she said it back to me or not. And honestly, I don't think she said it back to me. She didn't say it back right away. But hey, that's I felt it, and I just went with it.
That's what you got to do, I guess.
Let her
Right.
deal with it after that.
Yeah.
No, because to go with your point, Chris, we actually said on the podcast last episode where there's this term or this phrase that says, what was it again?
I don't know. I kept saying the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world.
Yeah, and that was completely not it.
Like the person who says "I love you" first is the weaker person. Like you guys kind of said.
Well, damn it. It was like, oh no, whoever cares less has more power.
Yes,
I've heard that too. I've
Yeah,
had that
yeah.
argument. Yes.
Yeah. So, which was a very interesting thing, to talk about anyway, because I believe you said your boyfriend said that, right? And you're like, oh, you're making this stuff up
first, and he was just like, damn, I'm screwed now. I'm like, you're really not. Like, whatever. Calm yourself.
and she thought that he like made that up, and I was like, no, like that's a thing that people
definitely.
And that's even funnier
feel.
because the other night we were in the car and like my Bluetooth connected and the episode was playing and he's like, oh, is this the episode where you said about like how I said I love you? And then like how you said, oh, this is what he was thinking during blah blah blah, and he's like, yo, Martini's spot on, that's what I was thinking. And then he was just like listening to it and like conversing along the way. I was just like, all right, we're done with this.
I've definitely heard that, but you got to think about this too. Like, is a relationship isn't supposed to be a power struggle, right? So it's like, I mean, I hear that like the person who cares less has more power, but it's not even supposed to be about that, right? It's not supposed to. If you're in a relationship, it's not supposed to be that power struggle,
right?
Because you're not trying to hurt the other person. It doesn't matter how much power you do or do not have. I feel like, but yeah, I've definitely heard that before.
I think it's the uncertainty though. The uncertainty of a relationship, especially when you get to that point where, do I say I love you or not? Yeah. It's that uncertainty that brings all that other anxiety out. So it shouldn't be a competition, shouldn't be a struggle, but I know it's always in the back of your mind,
One of the reasons, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this episode is because this was a power struggle for me. Like my last relationship, like maybe just because the relationship got like bad, like I didn't want to go to his family's house for the holidays. I didn't want to leave my family and go to his family's house. Like I just didn't. I hated it.
That's another milestone step too.
I hated it. So I mean, it wasn't supposed. Even though it was like, I love you too. And it's like, okay, we're going to my mom's now. I'm like, fuck. Do we have to? My family's awesome. But I don't know. I mean, now here we are.
Right. Yeah. New relationship and
we split the first holiday. And my mom also sat him down and was like, listen. I was like, oh my God, these freaking Italian people are crazy. She's like, I need to know now what holidays you do and what holidays you don't do. I'm like, he's Catholic too. Like, calm yourself. But they don't do our major Italian holiday is New Year's Eve. We're like, got to bring out the fish and the shrimp and pasta and olive oil. And he's like, can I go?
I'm hungry over here.
And they don't do that. So whatever, they just don't. So my mom's like, okay, so you'll be here that day, and he's like, Thanksgiving's a really big deal for us. And she's like, oh, so I'm lucky you're even here. I was like, oh my God, please don't. So she was like trying to break it down, and I was just kind of like not listening because I was just like, I do hate leaving my mom's house. Like I felt like crappy leaving there, but his family's house was cool. It was just mad kids and people and stuff. So we did it. We made it happen. We survived the night. I didn't eat turkey the whole day.
Really? No. Oh, that sucks.
I missed it at both houses. And by the time we got to his parents' house, like, there was like oxtail, and I had like a little bit of that, and that was it.
Wow.
There was turkey, but like I wasn't even hungry because like we eat mad carbs at my mom's house. So like by the time I got there, I was just like, and then his mom's like, try the rice. We have shrimp. I'm like, oh God.
Should have took it to go plate or something.
No, I had oxtail and rice in the refrigerator, and I ate it the other day.
Okay.
I didn't want turkey. Turkey's not my thing.
Oh, okay. That's why.
But I don't like splitting the holidays. But you have to. It's what you do.
Yeah. No, it's very true. I remember, I lucked out because I remember with my ex.
She was an orphan.
What?
I don't know. That's like the best case scenario.
That is lucking out. Yeah. Only one house.
I was with my ex fiance. We Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. So and the thing is, her Christmas was her favorite holiday, and her family's like they go all out. What is that? What's that last name? That movie, The Griswolds from National Lampoon's like they go out, they go in, that's for Christmas.
Okay.
And me, Christmas is like, all right, whatever, it's Christmas, So and the thing is, with her family, they would always fight to see where they were gonna have Thanksgiving. Like, are you gonna have it at the parents' house, and she had a sister who was married, so are we gonna have it there? Mm-hmm. And there would always be a big fight. So she'd be like, look, we're just going whatever you're doing, mm-hmm. and we usually have it at my sister's house. So her and I would just go there, and it'd just be simple. And then I would have Thanksgiving like every year, and then I just go to her for Christmas, and like there was no beef, no bickering, no nothing. So, I mean, I had it pretty easy. So,
yeah. I think holidays for me, that it's not that big of a discussion though. But the splitting, I don't really go big on any holiday. Mm-hmm. Thanksgiving, I don't celebrate it traditionally. I know it's a big holiday, and my wife and previous relationships. I've been in previous relationships where they go hard on Thanksgiving, so I usually end up going, depending on who celebrates it more. So, mm-hmm. If my wife's family is gonna do Thanksgiving big, I'll go there. But I don't really do any holiday big. I don't know what's that about. I don't get caught up in all.
He's like, I don't get it.
No, I don't get caught up in it. And of course, Christmas for the children.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't really get caught up in it. I wouldn't mind being home every holiday. I look for the moment where I can be alone in front of the TV and enjoying it. So I don't.
Right.
I look at it almost spend half the day with my wife's family, and my family, we don't go that hard. So when we come home, as far as my side of the family, we don't go that hard. So after celebrating with my wife's family, if I can come home and watch TV, catch a game, catch a couple movies, that's a great holiday for me.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Right. Yeah. Before we got on air, Chris was telling me his splitting of the holiday story, and this was pretty fascinating. So go ahead.
Yeah, it was great. So first of all, before that, my family's nice because no matter whoever's spending the holidays, no matter what it is, it's no big deal, right? Mm-hmm. So I can say, listen, I'm not going to be with you guys this holiday, or I am, or blah, blah, blah.
Oh, so your mom's not a Nazi like my mom.
No.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she doesn't like put the guilt trip on me or anything. She's like, all right, whatever. You do what you want to do for Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll see each other that day or the day after. So I had a great Thanksgiving. I was telling you because so my parents and my brother went down to Virginia to visit my dad's family. So they were out of town. My kids were with my ex-wife, so they weren't at the house. And what I did was I went over to my fiance's house and had dinner with her and her mom. And then I came home. I listened to A Quiet House. I sat down on the couch with some Jameson and my HD TV, and I pretty much fell asleep.
That's my holiday.
Awesome Thanksgiving I've ever had in my life.
He's signing up for that right now.
Yeah.
That's what I strive for. That's the
hashtag goals.
That's the goal.
I strive for that one every year.
That is pretty funny.
It's funny because Heather, who was on our show a couple weeks ago, like she said the same thing. She's like, oh, I have to go to like my fiance's families this year. I always miss going to my mom's, and I know it's just something we have to do because you have to, you know. And I think like my boyfriend, like her fiance has like a really big family. So my mom, it's me, my mom, my dad, my 3 half brothers, one who lives at a state, my one full brother who spent like half the week downstairs in the basement playing Madden and watching football.
There you go.
And he was like, do I have to be here? I'm like, could you light a fire? Could you do something? Like, shit.
Right.
And my aunt who lives down the street. So it's like not that many people, and he's got like, excuse me, he's got like, I don't know, a sister, 4 brothers, 16 nieces and nephews. It was like romper room up in there. It was crazy. But they were adorable children.
Right.
Lovely, lovely children. They were. But like, so it's kind of like I can't tell him, oh, just skip that. So we split the holidays, and it is what it is. And I'm just going to have to get used to leaving my mom and my brothers, who eventually go sit around the fire and play guitar and sing. And literally the only times I see my half brothers are on Thanksgiving and Christmas. So now I have to leave them, those weird little fuckers, and go to his family's house.
No, but like you were saying, it's just something that has to be done. And we don't mean to say that begrudgingly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, fine. You know, something to be done.
Like in my little harmonic head, like I'm like, oh yeah, maybe like one day like our families can come together and have like a holiday together. And then I'm just like, no. Because like I was just like thinking like even if we got married, it would just be so awkward. Like our families are like polar opposite. Like just the parents part. Like his parents are like Caribbean and like very like I don't know really what they are. I haven't figured them out yet. Like his dad doesn't live here, so but his mom's like very like old school, I think. And like I just think that my mom is just like so much of a personality and like they don't really have a good filter. I don't either, except I know how to act in front of adults. That like it would just be awkward. Like I would just constantly be like, "Oh my god, don't say anything offensive."
Well, do they drink alcohol? Both families.
My dad my dad used to drink, and then like because like he was like getting high blood pressure and stuff, he stopped drinking.
Then I have no answer.
Yeah. And I don't know if his mom does or anything. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they can like smoke weed together. I have no idea.
That could work. There you go.
I don't know. Whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I do know that like it's always a topic of like where do you have to go? Like who do you have to split the holiday? The running joke amongst the friends is like date an orphan. It just doesn't work. When he's like, "Oh, I have a big family," I'm like, "Oh God." It's like, well, if we make it that far, we'll see. And we did, and now here we are, splitting the holidays begrudgingly.
You said that you reached out and talked to.
So yeah, I went on to a Facebook group called Podcasts We Listen To. And I basically just asked the question since everyone is avid podcast listeners, and then the group of people in this group are just awesome. Everyone kind of like came through and gave like massive answers, but I'll try to shorten some of them up. So this one lady, Erica, she said, my family lives away and we aren't close, so I don't have much of a choice. I spend the holidays with my in-laws. And then another lady, Melissa, said, I've been married for 3 years, but they've been together for 16. They do Christmas Eve with her family and then Christmas Day with his. Although last year she said they combined them, blah, 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 blah. And she said they had a lot of fun. They're going to do it again this year.
Nice.
And then another lady, what is her name? Sorry, Nikki. She said, my family is crazy and far away, so we spend the holidays with his family. Yes, I'm serious. A smiley face. Thanks, guys. But everyone kind of like put in their 2 cents. There was a couple other answers about what they did. And I mean, it's basically like convenient. Like what my mom explained to me, and she was like, if I spent Christmas with my mother-in-law, I would have spent Christmas with my mother.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry. If I would have spent Thanksgiving with my mother-in-law, then I'll be spending Christmas Day with my mother.
Yeah. Alternate.
Sense.
And I don't have time to do all that. Like, oh, where did we go last year?
Everybody got time for all that.
Right. Like, so I just spent like half the day there and then half the day at his house. I don't know. Then my mom's like, oh, you missed the pie and stuffing. And I was like, fuck.
I used to do that when I was married. We did that because my ex-wife's family was down in Brooklyn and my family's up here.
Oh yes, it's a little bit of a distance.
Yeah, so we would do, let's say Thanksgiving with my parents and then Christmas with her family.
Right.
But I would just have her drive down to the city so I don't have to drive. So
right.
In that I was okay. So you gotta, it's compromise.
Right.
I guess everybody says like when you have kids it's different, and like I don't know. But his family's so big that like even if we had kids, like we're gonna be like the last of them to have kids. So we ain't gonna count for shit. They're gonna like pack that baby up and let's go. So I mean, whatever.
Right.
I don't know. But did you find anything on this? Is this like a thing that people are talking about?
No, absolutely.
Is this what's hot on the streets right now? I mean, or am I the only one standing home stressing about this shit?
No, not at all. I mean, I found an article that was pretty good talking about it. It was from thenest.com, and it was saying what's fair when couples split holidays. And the author of the article, she says, one of the first things I did when moving into a 940 square foot apartment more than 5 years ago with my then boyfriend, now husband, was to buy a large dining room table. This space was made for entertaining, I said. And he says, why do we have to have people over? And he says, two more Thanksgiving celebrations later, and we're still doing it. And now we're getting ready for our 4th Thanksgiving in our home this year. So why do we still do it? It's become our holiday where we bring everyone together because we split the rest of the holidays with each side of the family. It works for us. Tell us what works for you. So I saw 5 different examples, and I thought they were interesting. The first one is something that you brought up earlier, Jen, and it was saying, number 1, remember, you're a married adult who can do whatever you, along with your spouse, want. If and only if I were happy to travel, I would alternate my holidays. Thanksgiving with my husband's family, Christmas with the opposite family, then next year, Christmas with my husband's family and Thanksgiving with the opposite family. But that would only happen if I didn't have children. Once children are involved, all bets are off.
See, that's the thing. I gotta get started on that somehow.
The second couple said, this year we decided that we would do one holiday with his family and one with mine. Next year we'll rotate the holidays. I let my fiance decide which holiday to go where this year. The choice was Thanksgiving with his family and Christmas with mine. Both of our parents live an hour away from us in different directions. We both refused to split half the holiday one place and half another because we would spend more time traveling than enjoying our holiday. That's also true.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Number 3 is my advice is to see it as splitting your time, not between 2 families, but 3. You and your husband are a family too, and the most important. Look at your calendar and prioritize the holidays you want to spend with just the 2 of you, then fill in time with both sides. And number 4 is my father always tells me that fair is a term used to describe the weather, nothing more. Work toward making your family, you and your husband, happy. It's never going to be perfect. Time will never be split 50-50 down the middle. Do what's best for you and do not be afraid to adjust.
So, fellas, if you want to stay home and watch football all day and just chill in your favorite leather recliner, and maybe if you can convince your wife that that's a good idea, then that's what your family's Thanksgiving will look like.
Yeah, we don't want problems, though.
Oh.
Exactly.
Like, well, I'm going to my mom's house. Bye.
Yeah. It definitely is hard to see because it's always a battle every year because I don't even think people like the holidays like they used to when they were young because now it's so much responsibility. Just like, oh, Thanksgiving coming up because before we were like, oh yeah, turkey about to stuff my face and then like, oh wait, damn. All right, where we gotta go, man? And the traveling, and everybody is traveling at the same time. I don't know if anybody saw that live footage of Los Angeles. Yeah, when it was like Santa's coming to town because it was like red.
Parkway traffic was bad.
Yeah, the Los Angeles thing was ridiculous. Right. I was like, wow. So
I wouldn't want to spend most of my holiday in the car. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'd be pissed as well. Like, nope.
Especially if there's no food up in there. Oh my God. I'm hangry.
Yeah. But that's why I give you props for splitting like the day because I don't want to travel. I just want to pick a place and then just spend the day there. Right. I don't want to like pick up and go and.
I felt bad leaving, but like at the same time, like I felt bad that he got to his family's late, and like they had kind of already eaten by the time we got there, and then he had work that night. So, like, we were only there for a couple hours. And then, like, him and his brothers, like, had some drinks, got into some political conversation. I was like, oh, my God. And then he was like, he had to go home so he can, like, sleep for an hour before work. Yeah. And then I was like, do I go back to my mom's house now? And I was just like, I called her. She's like, nah, everybody left. I was like, she's like, we're just sitting around eating pie, watching HBO. I was like, I'm staying my ass home. So I got on my couch and put on my TV.
There you go. Now, did he catch shit from his family for coming in late?
No, like, she understood. All right. He's like, they're just happy I have a girlfriend now. I was like, okay.
There you go.
Aww. That's awesome.
I was like, that's
why I don't
great.
like the holidays. All that emotional shit. Go ahead with that.
Yeah. They were just like, oh, there's food. There was, like, literally food in every room. I was like, oh, my God, this is crazy. It's a big family. You got to feed everybody, so.
True.
I don't know. But now we're, like, approaching Christmas. And it's like...
Do it again.
Gotta do it again.
Do it again.
Gotta do it again. But, are you going to say something else?
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say good segue because that goes into our next topic.
Where you guys going with this?
About...
This isn't my first rodeo.
About gift giving.
Actually, gift giving is like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
I love giving gifts.
I absolutely love.
School me.
I absolutely love giving gifts. No, because the topic was because.
Do you guys celebrate Christmas?
I do.
Okay. I mean, some people don't. Some people are like Jehovah's Witnesses and don't do it.
No, because Jennifer brought this up because she was saying because she is in a new relationship and she was like, "What should I get him?" And I was like, "I don't know," because me, I don't think in those terms really. I just give what I think I should give.
So let me ask. The first question I think is, how new is the relationship? It was like a month new, or is it like a year new?
No, it'll be 10 months.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's not.
It's new, but or like
it's not like 2
precursor.
weeks ago.
We moved very, 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 very slow.
Okay.
To get here.
But it's your first Christmas though, right?
Yeah,
if it's
together.
only 10 months. It's
our first
your
Christmas
first
together.
Christmas together, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go right ahead.
What were your thoughts? What do you think? What do you want to get him?
I already got him something. I can't tell
okay.
you because he might listen to this
the
before.
podcast.
Yeah.
Sometimes he does. I think he sneaks it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He,
So.
you know what it was? He was listening to the podcast when we were like in the beginning stages of dating, and like he like didn't really have anything to ask me because he already knew everything about me via the podcast.
That sucks.
Yeah.
And I told her that I was like, he's cheating, right? I was like, that's not good. That's not good. Like,
But then like stuff would come up, and then he'd be like, "So that dude called you?" And I'd be like, "Oh God, like yeah, like I heard on the podcast." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like I said on the podcast, like I shut it down. Like it wasn't a big deal. It's really just what we're talking about. I just didn't feel the need to have a full-blown conversation with you about it."
Yo, it's so crazy that social media has brought it to that. Like you
Right.
have like imagine you wouldn't be having that conversation 5 years ago, 10 years ago,
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you didn't have a podcast or nobody had a podcast. back
Right.
then.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
yeah. So now they're just like, they don't even like.
So
have to
I told
creep
him
on
not
you,
to
so.
listen. I was like, "Look, I'm
right.
not telling you can't." I was like, "But just to like avoid."
He's listening.
He's like,
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to do it, yeah, you. No, but
he's like, "Hey, Jen's boyfriend."
How you doing, guy?
no, but yeah, because we don't want to have. We censor ourselves, but at the same time, we don't want him listening to something and then he might think of something.
Right.
You know,
Of course.
Right.
we don't want him to like
Right.
go off
Go off the deep end with
yeah,
something.
Yeah, like what? I can't believe. So we're
Right, like I'll tell you on the podcast that like I fucked the shit at Idris Elba, but like I'm not gonna have that conversation with my boyfriend.
oh boy.
Yeah, right. Oh,
yeah, right. No,
you can listen, but you ain't gonna like what you hear.
exactly. No,
But no, that like it's just like podcast talk. If we can,
no, that's
like
what it
it's
is.
just
Yeah,
talking amongst friends.
we don't want to necessarily censor ourselves in that way. We want to speak freely on what the topic is about.
So I did buy his gift already, one of his gifts.
Okay.
One of his gifts.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you're
like
going
giving
in.
gifts. Like I like giving gifts that like mean something to the person. One thing that I got him is something that he wanted.
Oh, that's great.
You
That's
were putting
great.
the pressure on.
But
this
you're setting a
dude.
precedent.
Yes, thank you.
Right.
You can never come if this is you can never come down.
There's no coming back from
No,
this.
but what do you mean by that? Because like she didn't necessarily set she didn't say a price or whatever. So
No.
So what do you mean by a precedent?
No, I was saying because she said she got one of the gifts.
Oh, okay,
Right.
I got you.
She implied that there's multiple gifts.
Right, like I
right.
could have got him a tie and some socks.
Okay,
That's two
okay,
gifts.
Okay.
Like I'm not saying like he got an Xbox.
No, I hear you.
And,
I hear you. That
and an
that-
Audi.
yeah.
Like no.
Whoa.
that definitely could count in my book as two gifts, but I
Right.
know other people who might say that's just one
As
outfit.
an outfit.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah, but I get it. I get
Right,
it.
right.
I
No,
get it.
like I got one thing, the
Yeah.
big thing. I got
Okay,
the big
okay.
thing.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I got that, and I did some research on it to make sure it was like good for what he needed it for.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, there's so much weight on this dude's back right now.
Yeah.
I know, but
He's listening.
No,
'cause
he
he's
no.
sure
You know
it
what? No,
is,
the
yeah.
thing is, he probably has it already. He probably already has it in his head that this
He does.
is a
He
big
said
one
he
because
feels
it's the first
nervous.
Christmas.
He said he feels nervous, but
Yeah.
then like he'll tell me like before he texts me, and he's like, I have to go to my mom's because your gifts came,
Nice.
and
Okay,
I'm like,
all right,
he's
all
on.
right.
I
He's on point.
don't know. He's good when it comes to stuff like that.
Okay, because I'm sitting here and you're talking about I did research and just made sure it was the right one. I'm like, oh, damn. I went to the store.
Right. Well,
pull that off the shelf.
You're doing research. Let me get that one in green.
Yeah. Okay, just say that I got the Best Buy.
Okay.
So whatever
you don't have to tell me.
No, I'm not just saying. So whatever you get at Best Buy,
yeah.
you're not just gonna buy Best Buy's brand. You know what I mean?
Right.
You want to know that what you're buying, what you're putting your money into, is good to go.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not just about like
that will last.
Right?
And it shows you care that you did the research to be able to do all of that. So
yeah.
that's
right.
a good thing. Yeah,
so I did all that, and like, I don't know, it's gonna be our first Christmas, but I mean, like my last relationship, like I could tell that our relationship was failing because the gifts got like shittier.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Oh no.
At least
Like-
you're still giving gifts.
Like I asked him for a smartwatch one year, and he got me like the Samsung. It was like the Fitbit version of the watch,
Okay.
not like the smartwatch. And I went and dropped like the $350 on the Motorola round face watch, and like he came with like the Fitbit watch, and I was like,
Ooh.
thanks. I hope he's not listening anymore.
And I'm gonna hide my Fitbit watch.
No, I want a
No,
Fitbit.
no,
I want a Fitbit now, but like then I wanted
I know
the
what you're talking about.
smartwatch.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, I
the
wanted
one that
the-
just looked like the strap.
Right,
that he
like an
got.
actual watch. That's what
Yeah,
I wanted.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like he got me like the like you could, I don't know. I felt like I should have been offended about it, but I was just like,
You knew he didn't put too much into it, basically.
I felt like he just went online and was like, that's how much I love her. That's how much I'm willing to spend right now.
Ooh.
Like not that I equate that by any means of the
Well, I mean,
no,
I'm
I
just
don't.
kidding.
I don't. I don't equate like money with love, but I could tell that like the thoughtfulness that he was putting, like in the beginning, he got me like awesome things. Like we talked about on the podcast that like I think it was like the Christmas before, he had gotten me he made me a book of like he took me to Maryland, right? You know, I'm like, you were there, Martini. He took me to Maryland.
I was in the bushes.
Taping for the podcast.
He took me to Maryland to the aquarium, and we went to like Powerhouse Live and stuff down there. But the thing, it was nice. So he made me like a book of like our whole trip. And then he gave me like tickets to Bill Cosby prior to the scandal. So like back then you were like, oh, yo,
Whatever. Post scandal is probably more funny. Fuck it.
Yeah. And then he did give me a comforter for my bed. That was weird, but whatever. It was thoughtful.
So the caliber.
It was our bed.
The caliber of gifts, it showed that he cared, and it looks
Right. Like things were like thoughtful. Like the things he put
Yeah.
into it was like, you know. And then
that
like
came down.
year 2, we were like, he was just like, oh, here's that watch you wanted.
He just threw it at him.
He was like, and I was like, thanks.
Gotcha.
I don't know. So we're new in the relationship, so I'm trying to like put my best foot forward. But like I was bringing up to Martini, like, okay, let's say you've only started dating like in October. What do you get somebody?
Good question.
You know, like
is.
does the amount of time that you've been with somebody like have any weight on like what you buy a person, or do you even buy a person that, or do you give them a card with fatty ass Santa on it and say Merry Christmas?
I don't know. What do you think?
I might be the wrong guy to ask, but
He's like, I don't do holidays.
I definitely, you know, in my previous relationships, I'm so conscious of my money and I'm so conscious of signals. But you know, if I have kids, and I had kids previous to getting married, so you know, my oldest is 11, so for the last 11 years of my life, you know, gifts have been centered around my kids, and I don't.
Right.
Everyone else is kind of secondary.
I hear you.
I get
And-
that. That makes sense. I think when you do have kids, that definitely becomes a different thing. And a lot of the people on the forum where I wrote, they would say like Christmas is now about the kids, and if we buy anything, we'll be like, okay, I'm gonna put some of my money together and some of your money together, and let's get a new fridge for the house, or let's get a new washer and dryer.
That's what's up. Yeah.
And that makes sense.
As you get older, I feel like the gifts mature like that. You know, Christmas is more about, you know, the practicality and getting the use out of whatever you're gonna get.
Right.
That's true.
You know, that tends to be. But in the new relationship, I can definitely remember in college, like you would date somebody in college and you would go away for like hey, I gotta bring her something back after this Christmas.
Right.
You know, we're together. You gotta bring something.
Here's a scarf.
That's why you break up one before.
Yeah,
Christmas.
you break up before you go.
I didn't do it. I'm just saying people did.
Right.
Hey, this ain't working out. Let's talk. Let's talk when the second semester starts.
Let's reconvene after Valentine's. Let's do that.
Yeah, sometimes there's a break on the cuffing season then.
Yeah.
Oh wow. But I think a lot of people are, they do get caught up in that, and I think there is an appropriate gift for the appropriate. I think all that.
Now you guys are like in married relationships, you're engaged. Like, let's just say that like you weren't.
Okay.
And you were dating somebody for like half a year, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you expect them to give you something?
When Christmas comes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo,
same dude who just sat up here and said, you might get something.
No, you got at 6 months.
You damn right.
And we've been dating for, I think, 6 months with somebody.
Is that your date? That's your cutoff period, 6 months?
No, I just half a year. I mean, I'm seeing this person every day.
Half a year makes it sound so much more.
I see him every day for 6 months.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
well, not every day, but like.
But I mean, it's not a long distance relationship.
No.
It's
No.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah.
Something. And you gauge what that something is based on the relationship. I mean, but yes,
He's like, yes.
I feel like I would have to get somebody something if I was dating them for 6 months. By the time Christmas came around, it was 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be something crazy, but you have to get them something to say, you were at least on my mind for this holiday amongst all these other gifts that I get.
Yeah.
Or that I prepared to buy. Gotta get something. And if I was with somebody for 6 months, they gotta give me something.
Yeah.
He's like, cologne.
What about you, Chris? Since you with this person for 6 months.
6 months.
Do you think? Do you feel that you should be expecting something from them?
See, for me, when you say 6 months, like, time is relative, man. So, you can have a 6 month relationship that's lukewarm, and you can have a 3 months relationship that's hot and passionate as hell. So it's like, listen, I'll buy this person the world, and we've only been together 2 or 3 months. It's like people who get married after a couple months. You know what I mean? It's like that's their thing because their relationship was that hot and heavy. So saying 6 months, I guess if you look at 6 months, you're like, yeah, I got to get this person something.
Right.
But then that's like maybe the relationship wasn't that passionate. But if 6 months and you're like, man, I got to give this girl the world, and I'm going to buy her 3 gifts, and I know she said she loves this, and I'm going to make her a scrapbook of that, then boom, you go into that. But I mean, after 6 months, generally, yes, you got to give them something. And I don't mean a card. I mean, you have to buy them
like a gift.
Yeah, like after 6 months, you know enough about anybody to buy them something that's towards their interest, right?
Right.
So like, if you're dating a girl who, for instance, does a podcast, maybe you want to buy her a new microphone, or you know what I mean, or a pair of headphones because that's what she's into. Yeah. Anybody after 6 months, you got to be a jerk or just really just close your eyes and ears to not know something about somebody after 6 months to get them something. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be crazy expensive, but.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So my answer is, you're damn right. I expect something.
Something.
What do you think, Martini?
The 6 months thing.
Well, yeah,
not definitely. Well, absolutely yes. Mm-hmm. But I believe that if it's been 6 months, that shouldn't be the only time that you should have given a gift.
True. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Too,
Yeah, I mean,
not implying that you meant that, but like,
no,
just for me, like, obviously, I love giving gifts. So
I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say, if anyone knows Martini is like the most thoughtful gift giver ever. Okay. Now I feel bad saying things. If my boyfriend's listening, he's gonna be like, "What about me?" Like,
you good, boyfriend, you good.
No, he does a great job. He actually did buy me a mic once. I made him return it.
Oh, okay.
Because it wasn't compatible with our system.
Oh, okay.
But like you said, he just randomly bought it for me. Mm-hmm. It wasn't compatible with our system. And then like 2, I was like, well, we kind of got enough mics, but thank you.
But like you. No,
but the thought that he
he
absolutely.
took his time out.
And the thing is, you could just like I have my own personal mic, that could have been your personal mic.
Right, but
so if it
wasn't compatible with our system.
No, right.
The way our system works.
No, but like. But with the last relationship that I was with the yoga chick, I got her a gift maybe like a month in, and it was about. She was telling me about her. We were talking. And she was telling me about her favorite artist. Like a
painter.
Not painter, but like a
illustrator.
Drawing, illustrator. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, oh yeah, you like that person? Like, while I'm like talking to her, I'm like looking up stuff online.
That's what a relationship's about.
Yeah,
right.
like because I love doing that. I love capturing what you like and then boom, like putting it right in your face, just like, I listen. You know what I'm saying?
Martini made me cry on a birthday once.
Really?
We weren't even talking, but he just gave my friend gifts to give me. Because if you're late to the podcast or you're just late to the party like you guys are, Martini and I dated before.
Oh, yeah, we're late to the party.
Yeah,
all right.
I thought you meant late tonight. Oh, yeah, we're late. Yeah.
You're real late.
Okay.
If you listen to the podcast, spoiler alert.
Did your boyfriend know that?
Yeah, he knows.
He does now?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. He's listening.
He's listening.
Really? Is that what it is? All right.
You're like no doubt in my mind now.
Absolutely.
Religiously.
I'm taking all these conversations like, okay, he knows that, right? Oh, okay.
So like we had broke up or whatever, and he gave like a gift, and like you give very thoughtful gifts. Like every gift had like a specific meaning.
That's nice.
So I'm always just like, what? So
that's crazy. I have a whole new set of questions now. I'm gonna let it go, but I just
the whole dynamics of this just changed.
I don't think we ever dated during Christmas, though, right? I think we started dating right after Christmas.
Oh, did he?
No,
did he
no.
magically break up with you before Christmas?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. High five. Yeah, you got me.
See, Martini knows.
No.
He's like, oh,
No.
Christmas is coming, gotta go.
It was from April to August.
Okay.
Oh, short-lived.
Short lived.
I was a
No
renegade.
major holidays, and that's good.
No, all summertime. I just wait till it's a complete summer.
Yeah. So I gotta get this cuffing season. I need get out of here.
So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't remember what I did in high school. Like, I remember my first love, the one you know from high school.
Yes.
I remember my friend always used to tell the story that she went with him to the mall and he went to Arabistan with her. Guys, throwback, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get Jen this sweatshirt. She loves sweatshirts." What the fuck says that? and he bought me a white sweatshirt. I don't have any white clothes. I don't have any business having white clothes. I don't
have any business.
Drool on them. I'm messy. I just can't. Right. So, but he, I thought he loved me most of all, and he came with a white fucking sweatshirt.
Do you think did he put any thought into it though? You think? I mean,
the thing about him is in my head, I think he put heart into it, but in reality, he didn't. One year he bought me the House DVD box set, and then a pair of New Balances or something.
You could tell. You could
I
tell.
was just
what
what made you think that was a good idea?
First of all, House is a good show.
Did House wear New Balance?
Good question.
So maybe that was the connection.
They might not have even been New Balances. I just said that because they were shitty sneakers.
All right.
See, now you're shitting on New Balances, and you're cutting out your audience who wear New Balances.
All right, New Balances are good if you got those feet that need New Balances. I can wear Nikes. I got little feet.
The thing about gifts and buying gifts, for instance, I know I used to be a terrible shop. It was just a lot of effort. If the person I was dating was into fashion, I wasn't. I'm a late bloomer as far as even being concerned about what I look like fashion wise. Mm-hmm. I'm just getting into that maybe in the last 2 or 3 years, but before that, if I dated somebody that was into fashion, I'd give a sweater. That's what I mean. I should have got a gift card, let you pick it, but I would say, let me get a sweater. It would look like I put thought into this. At least that's what I'm hoping. Yeah. But it would be a horrible gift. I could tell just by the reaction. I'd be like, ooh, that white sweater, she doesn't like that. You know what I mean? So I think
hard.
I think sometimes depending on, what, for me personally, what my interest is, it might be harder for me to pick out, it might be harder for me to identify the person I'm dating, their fashion style. Mm. Yeah. Whereas, say it was something technology wise, I'll probably try to, my wife, she's into clothes, but I'm so thankful she's into gadgets too, because that's what I'm into gadgets. Mm-hmm. And I'm I'll hit her up with a gadget because when I got this Fitbit, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I want the Fitbit." Hey, you know what I mean? I know you're you're into gadgets. Yeah. We're good.
And that's where I think my boyfriend's probably leaning towards, because he knows that him and I go into Best Buy and we're like,
It's awesome.
Oh my
the feeling.
God.
It's an awesome
And
feeling.
like we wanted, and he was like, "Yo, we can't get married. We're gonna be broke." Because I was like, "Look, if we move in together soon, I was like, there's only one thing I want. I was like, could we go half on like a big TV?"
Come on now.
And he was like, "Yo, where are we gonna put the other?" He's got like a 65 at his house. I have a 60 at my house.
Oh my God.
I was like, we just need bigger though, babe.
Well, how big?
We were looking to see if there was like a 90-inch.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
And there is. It's like $6,000, but that don't make sense to do that. So
It does make
I
sense.
mean, we have sense too, but
Oh.
so maybe we'll just do like 70, 75. I don't know, but that's where we're going. But anyway, I don't know. Like, so I'm hoping I do well with the gift giving this year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I just don't know if other people are like struggling with that. Like, do I get a gift? Do I not get a gift? Like, I wish I didn't buy gifts for any of those fuckers before.
All right.
Y'all deserve nothing. I remember my one ex-boyfriend. All he wanted was a wrestling belt.
Oh. How old was he?
That hit his heart right there.
I'm one of those.
This wasn't that long ago. This was like 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
I still kind of want one. You ever see? What's his name from Kevin Love from the Cavaliers? He has one. He carries these championship belts.
Yeah.
And I saw one in the toy store now where they like make him look so real. Like you can just buy one and you just wear it.
Yeah, he said they were only like a couple hundred. He wanted like the WWE.
Yeah.
one.
They're a couple hundred.
that-
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's dumb.
Can I tell you a weird story? I remember when I was in 3rd grade, I was very much into wrestling. You know?
Really?
Yeah, when I was, you can tell, right? So in 3rd grade, I remember it wasn't the way they make these belts now, but my dad bought like it was like a little belt to symbolize you were a champion. And man, I fought kids for that belt. We had like WWF, WWE fights for that belt. And you know, I knew I would get in trouble if I ever lost it because my dad bought that for, but we would fight for that.
So I won every time.
So when you said
So
that,
wait, so now does that make me a bad person? That as a female, I'm like, not that I think the belt is dumb. I understand why you guys like wrestling and you would want the belt. I get it. You know.
that's soap opera.
Yeah, I get it. But like for me, I was like, I don't want to spend my money on a belt.
No, that
Like,
shouldn't make you feel bad at all. I mean,
Like I felt,
it's your money.
but if it's a gift,
Well, yeah, I was gonna say.
like I don't know, it's a thin line.
So think about this: what if your boyfriend that you have now, that obviously you care very much about, wanted a wrestling belt? I think you'd feel differently about buying him a wrestling belt.
I love him though. It's different.
See what I mean? So it's not the belt. See? It's not the belt. It's the person.
Yeah.
Right. I guess.
What you're saying is this belt isn't stupid. This fucking asshole asking for the belt is stupid. And
Probably.
Yeah. So it's not the belt. It's the person. I think because when you care about somebody, you're totally happy to buy them. So I bought my girl stuff that I'm like, I obviously wouldn't buy this for myself or anyone else, but the point is I care about her and she really wants this, so I'm gonna get it. So.
That's a good assessment.
Yeah.
That is pretty good. This is a little off topic, but I don't know if you caught it today. I tagged you in that Derek Jackson video.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. So I was like, since it kind of has to do with what we're talking about here. So let's say you're dating somebody, I don't know, for whatever disclosed amount of time. And whether or not they buy you a gift is irrelevant. But let's say they don't ask you to come to their family's house.
For when? Oh, the holiday season?
Right. Because I guess there was a thing on the
time isn't irrelevant. We need to know how long you've been dating.
Okay, maybe that is true. But it didn't say on the video. So Derek Jackson put up a video today, and basically he was saying, like, if he doesn't invite you to his family's house for the holidays, he's got a side chick.
I was gonna
or
say,
you are the side
side
chick.
chick, yeah, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you guys think that's true? Do you think that at what point do you think your significant other should be introduced and spend the holidays with you?
Great question.
That is a good question.
That's hard to say. Go ahead.
I don't know because I'm thinking right now. Okay, so I was dating Yoga Chick in September. So let's say we still were going out now.
Mm-hmm.
I know we talked about she said that she wanted me to come around Thanksgiving, and I was also thinking that too. But I don't think I was actually going to like invite her because it is because it's still
I thought
fresh.
about it, but then I was like,
no, it's still fresh because the thing is like I've told you before, I don't like introducing women to my family unless it's serious, and I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm about to like marry you and stuff like that, you know.
Definitely.
So you need to be something. So it was probably going to be like what 2.5 months, close to 3.
Okay.
Definitely, if we stay together till Christmas, you're in. but it was just too soon for Thanksgiving. You know, maybe I would have said that like, yeah,
those 4 weeks.
No,
pushed you over.
No, it's another month. It's like another month. And Christmas is, I guess, on the higher hierarchy of holidays, so that's why it's more important. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I think it probably just depends on the person, maybe as opposed to time. I don't know.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
He got dumbfounded.
Man, that's a good question.
He's still on the fact that you and I dated.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's like, yo, did you go to her house?
I was like, I'm trying to fit in a question right here.
Oh man, sorry to drop that on you.
But I agree with. I think it has to be something significant.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about myself. See, man, I don't want to go all into my past, but I was a person who dated a lot.
Yeah.
And I would like to come up, so I had girlfriends that I would spend Thanksgiving with, but it wasn't serious. I'd bring them. I felt like my parents kind of knew it, but it wasn't serious.
Right.
But, that was his girlfriend. See, the way I grew up, my mom wouldn't even use the word girlfriend until I was a certain age. Like, that's your friend.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how she would just talk. Like, is your friend coming over now? She would know this is your friend that you're interested in.
Yeah.
But if she came over, or if she might have stopped by, like, when I was in college, I dated someone, but obviously I wasn't thinking about marriage or anything serious.
Yeah.
But I know we spent a couple holidays with each other's families, and it was like our parents just knew, like, this is. I won't say a fling, but like, this is his relationship in college. It's nothing big. Yeah. But I guess as you grow and an adult, like, I definitely wouldn't bring somebody over unless it got to that point where you felt like, hey, you need to meet my parents.
Yeah.
I think like now, like being an adult though, I feel like it changes the game a lot. Like now, you guys are like engaged and married. I'm 37, and as Martini tags me in these fucking memes like, don't rush the marriage question.
Oh yeah, well no, I don't, because the only reason why I put that is because, one, I care about you,
Thanks.
and I want it to go well, and I don't want you to mess it up because you're thirsty.
Yo, how did I just get sundown on my podcast?
He said it so caringly though, because you're thirsty. Make sure.
No,
you call it thirsty, I call it knowing what I want and having like very little patience.
No, you're right, because in previous podcasts you say like, we went so slow, but now like, now I'm just now we're revved up, let's go, let's do this. So that's the only reason why I say that. So, but I'm like, yo,
gotta get rid of that roommate.
I see memes, and I'm like, yo, she needs to see this to have her like
and
pace herself.
You want to know something? I told him, I was like, Martini tagged me in this meme, and he's like, can I say something? I was like, sure. And I thought he was gonna be like, fuck Martini.
Damn.
No, and he's like, I'm still here, right? I was like, yep. I was like, okay, moving on.
Right. That's the thing, so
I don't know, like, he's only like really the second person that I brought home, because I know when I'm with somebody, like, we're like sometimes like, this is fun, but you can go whenever you want.
Right.
And like, I don't know, like, I just think that, like, first of all, if you're like in your upper 30s, 40s, and you're dating, if you're dating for sports still, congratulations.
Yeah.
Good for you. Like,
because you were saying age kind of changes the game.
Right. Like, I feel like if you're dating at this point now, I mean, for sport, like, I just need to get laid and like have fun, whatever, until the summer comes, and then go back to the shore, dude. Then whatever. But like, I feel like now, like, when you're dating somebody, it's like more of a serious tip, and like, you want to spend some time with them on the holidays, and I guess it really depends on like your age and your family. Yeah. Like, some families are just like, don't bring no heifer up in my house. Yeah. If you don't have a ring on her finger, you're not doing whatever. But
right.
I mean, if your man is like older and he's going to his family's house and doesn't even like mention it to you, I feel like a little concerned, especially if you've been dating a significant amount of time.
Yeah. If
like,
they're not mentioning it, something's wrong.
Right. Like, you're going to your mom's, like, oh, I'd love to see your mom. So, I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, I don't have that problem, so I can't really relate, but I'm sure there's people out there who was like, oh, what'd you do for Thanksgiving? Like, I went to my mom's. oh, I would have loved to come.
See, if you have to say that, then something's really wrong.
Right. Like, I don't know.
And then if he calls you up and says, let's go out February 15th instead of 14th, let's do something different.
Yo,
I'm definitely a side chick.
I moved on Valentine's Day one year, and so like when we were done moving, we all went to Hula Hands. The people who come to Hula Hands at like 10 o'clock at night dressed up for dinner, I was like, side chick, side chick, side chick. You.
That's the whole crowd. Yeah. You're
right. That's the whole crowd.
I was like, first of all, he's taking you to Hula Hands. Fail. I'm only here because I was moving all day.
Second of all, you guys live 4 towns away, so you know he's trying to take you out the area.
Why are we going to the Hula Hands in Hasbrook Heights? Good atmosphere, honey. Whatever. Don't believe the hype.
Wow.
We'll get into Valentine's Day on Valentine's Day.
Oh no!
Right now, we'll just deal with getting through the end of the year and Christmas.
There you go.
And then there's New Year's. Oof. We'll have to touch on that one next month.
Yeah.
If you don't spend New Year's with your boo, you don't kiss him at midnight. Bye, bitch. Gotta go.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. But yeah, so I saw this article saying it's by AskApril.com. It's called Gift Giving Rules: Advice for Determining the Appropriate Gift and Tips on Giving Gifts in a New Relationship. And pretty much she says, breaking it down, the rules to good gift giving. She says you'll likely heard the expression, "It's the thought that counts." Well, when you first begin dating, put more thought into the gift than money. This is the time to demonstrate you've been paying attention to your date's likes and dislikes by showing your knowledge and appreciation of the things you have learned and remember about them in very simple terms.
There you go.
And she gives a lot of advice, but just fast forwarding right here, and she says first decide on a price. And I think this is the crux of what we were talking about. It says first decide on a price based on the stage of your relationship. So $50 and under for less than 3 months.
Ooh.
$100 and under for 6 months and under. $250 and under for up to 9 months, and up to $500 for up to a year.
Damn.
Price is not the only key. Personality plays a major part. Keep gift giving fun and personal until you're ready to make it serious with the ultimate gift. Even then, it helps to take the time to think about the likes and dislikes of the person you're shopping for.
500?
Well,
I'm not going that deep.
Is that up to? So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not going over that.
So yeah.
That again, I think, is relative.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
So I mean,
it's not written in stone.
Hard and fast rule, yeah. Because you can buy 2 or 3 gifts, and 500 will add up real quick depending on the gift.
True.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah.
Xbox games.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, but it was very, very good topics to have right around the perfect time. So I hope everybody listening takes it to heart. And
I hope everybody was out there with those Black Friday sales, because
yeah,
you wouldn't have had to spend $500.
Yeah. So, we've already passed Thanksgiving, but Christmas is coming up. So hopefully you take this podcast to heart and try to do what you need to do, split the holidays, and also
and if he deserves coal, give him coal.
Exactly.
Or the boot, whichever.
Yeah. Or the boot. Yeah. No. Definitely. Do you have a meme of the day or no?
You know what? I think I do, but I have to find it. Give me a moment.
Sure.
Do you guys have anything to add for our
closing comments
thoughts
about either gift giving rules or splitting the holidays? Anything?
Go ahead.
I would just say, no one knows your relationship better than you and the partner you're with. Yep. So kind of everybody has a different flow, a different style. So kind of just try to be in tune with that energy and with that flow. And I wouldn't do anything to kind of be too out the box. I wouldn't do anything that would disrupt that energy, especially if that energy is moving and progressing at a decent place. So, when you're moving within a certain energy, a lot of the gifts, all that should all be a flow. So I would just encourage people to, we can all come up with our own suggestions, but you know your relationship best and you know how it's moving. So kind of stay within that energy.
Okay.
Anything, Chris?
Yeah, I would say just do it from the heart. I mean, whether you're spending $10 or $500, if it's something from the heart, then you really can't go wrong. So
cool. All right. So, before we give the whole like social media stuff, I'm giving Weldon 3 questions because I know you've been waiting to ask.
Yeah. Right. I can ask him now.
Yes.
No meme of the day.
Oh no! Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, just so you know, the meme of the day is, which will be up, is some crazy bitch holding a knife, and it says, "You didn't get me anything for Christmas. It's okay, baby. I forgive you." But she's crazy and she's holding a knife.
No, yeah.
Oh,
So
boy.
she's gonna stab his ass.
It does look crazy.
Yes. So.
Yeah, your questions.
Go ahead.
No, I think you mentioned it, but I didn't catch it.
Okay.
How long did y'all date?
From April to August.
April to August.
2008.
That was a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then you guys came together to do a podcast?
No, then we didn't talk for 7 years.
Yeah.
You didn't talk for 7 years?
Yeah, we had a falling out. Yeah.
I left him for my ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
So if you,
I want to get all. I only got 3. I'm trying to.
It's gonna take more than 3 questions.
I'm trying to let them go.
This is for Weldon and the new listeners, I guess.
Okay, here's the thing. You can ask your questions, right?
Okay.
But definitely listen to episode 6.
Okay.
All right,
Write that down.
and you'll get a lot more.
On the drive home.
Okay.
He's like, hold up.
All right, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we had a falling out. Yes.
Now you were talking about he made you cry once. Was that when y'all started talking again?
No, after we broke up, him and my friends remained friends. Like, because I'm still friends with his friend, who you guys might know, who knows. And he was still friends with some of my friends. And my friend came to my birthday party late, and we were already kind of like drunk, and my ex-boyfriend was there.
And
my boyfriend at the time was there, the one I left Martini for, and he was being kind of like a dick.
And this
Shocker.
was probably like
It was March.
6 or 7 months after we broken up.
Right. And she came in with a bag of gifts, and the gifts were, she's like, "These are from Martini. He told me to give them to you." Oh. And in the bag was like the gifts, and then the card that explained what each gift was. Like, one of them was like a movie that we had seen together.
Gangster.
Yeah.
What's gangster is this was all done in front of your new boyfriend?
He was an asshole. He didn't care.
That's gangster.
Still gangster, yeah.
That's gangster.
That's hard.
You didn't know he was going to be there, though, right?
No, of course not. I didn't know.
You knew he was going to be there. He lived with me at that point, I think.
But I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know she was just going to be like, bam.
No. All I knew is that like she was gonna give you the gifts, and that's all I cared about. I cared about what you thought about them because obviously I put time and thought into it.
Right.
So I didn't know what you were gonna do.
And this is how you tried to reconcile the falling out?
No, he didn't care to reconcile anything. He just wanted to give me the gift.
Just care because he cared.
Yeah, because he cared. Because you're a nice guy.
That's gangster.
Yeah, it really is.
Martini, man, you're my hero, man.
Whoa, that's good.
That's big.
You
so
emotionally put her boyfriend in a headlock right there.
Yo, like, that's what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
got me nothing that year.
Oh, that's even better. So Martini looks even better right there.
Right.
Yo, if I'm your boyfriend, I'm just like, yo, who is this Martini?
Dude, he's showing up. He's just sending bags and shit.
Sending bags.
Big ass bag.
Explanations of each gift. Like, he's killing the game right now.
There's a
dude?
picture of me somewhere like sitting on the couch, and I have like my face in my hands, and I was just crying because it was very thoughtful, and like here I am with my asshole boyfriend, and I felt like a lot of guilt and stuff at the time. So
Last question. How did y'all decide to come together and say, let's do a podcast?
All right, well, so then that's on me because probably a year ago, a year before me and my ex-fiance broke up, I had and still do have like this dark cloud about like love and shit like that, and I in that relationship, not that I how do I word this, like. I was still mad about what like Jennifer did and with like her relationship. It wasn't necessarily that I wasn't like over her. I was just like I wasn't over what she did.
Right.
You know, and like my ex-fiance at the time, she was like, "Look, you really have like this dark cloud over you. You really need to like reconcile whatever it is in like your chakra or whatever."
Right.
You know, and like you need to reach out and like talk to her or whatever.
Wow.
They say forgiveness is about yourself, not that person. So maybe that's you needed to kind of do something inside.
No, yeah, definitely. So like, I mean, and like me and like my ex broke up, whatever, and then
I think we were like in contact like once or twice. Like I would send an email to Martini because I didn't have any ill will against him. I just kind of like it just wasn't working. And like I would send him an email and he'd be like, "What do you want, Jennifer?"
Yeah, I would keep it strictly like, I'm like, what do you want?
I was like, okay.
Because I still had such animosity towards her. Like what she did, she just like, whatever. I was like the nice guy, and like she left me like for an asshole,
He was an asshole.
So I was just
that's what's hit.
So I was just so mad about that. I was like, what could you possibly want from me? You got everything that you want. Why are you reaching out to me?
Right.
So like one day I was just like, man, I want to like, I want to get past this and whatever. I want to like be well with myself if I want to ever get into like a new relationship. So I was just like, yo, man, let me see if I can even reach out to this chick. So I looked at like an old email, or whatever, and I got her email address, and I was like, yo, what's up? I think we need to talk and blah blah blah. And this is like 7 years later.
I was gonna say the time frame.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, yo, we need to talk, blah blah blah. And she was like, all right, where you want to meet? So we met at the mall. And like we were both just like, because we haven't seen each other in that long, right?
Yeah.
So we were just like, yo, okay, hey, like give each other a hug and stuff. And then we sat down.
I tried being friendly, and he was just like very like.
Yeah, I was very standoffish because you have to realize like this is my opportunity to let her have it. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was just
all the guys like, yup.
I know. I get it.
Yeah. So I was just like, she was like, hey, what's going on? I'll have the blah blah blah, and it's like, what do you like, sir? I'll have water. Thanks. Because it's about to get serious.
Yeah.
So and we just talked for like a long time, probably like what, I don't know,
a couple hours.
Yeah, definitely a couple hours.
Wow.
And then we exchanged numbers, and then we just like,
I was like, can we be friends? And he was like, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Back at this again.
Yeah. And then a couple months, we would like hang out. She was like, oh, do you want to come over and like chill out and hang out? And like, all right, fine. Just like ease into it, and it was cool. And I remembered like hanging out with her while we like not worked as a couple, but just worked as people.
Right.
Like we
clicked.
we clicked. We have amazing chemistry. We just weren't a good couple,
right?
And then she would talk about her past relationships, and I would talk about mine. And she was like, "Yo, why don't we like do a podcast?" I was like, "Yo, shut up, yo." I was like, "What are you talking about? Like a podcast?" I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I have no. What do you mean? We can't. Who are we?"
Yeah.
Like how would we even start?
That's funny.
But because like our stories were so similar to each other, and it was so weird because we haven't seen each other in 7 years, but like our stories were like so parallel to each other. And we would find out that we watched like the same shows too.
Yeah.
I was like, "What, you watch that?" Like, how the hell? And so it was so weird. So it was like, "Oh, we got to do something." So we did like mad research for like 3 months,
Right.
And then earlier this year, right? January.
No, I think it was like right around this time last year we started recording.
Oh,
but we didn't put it out.
We didn't put it
like
out.
4 episodes before we launched it, and then we launched it January.
Yeah.
17th or something.
16th, January 16th of this year.
Yeah.
And then and we just did it, and
once we started doing it, we're like, oh,
this is fun. Yeah, this is fun. and we just bounced back and forth. We're like, wow, yeah, we do have great chemistry. And everybody that has been like listening, that have given us feedback, they love our banter and just how we roll with each other. So we're like, wow, this works.
Yeah, when I listen to the podcast, without Ian, definitely I can recognize the chemistry in both the two. So when you told me that information,
he was like, "What?"
No, we like shocking people because they're like, "Wait, what?"
I didn't listen to episode 6 yet, but I will.
I'm going back to it.
Yeah, I am. I was listening to the one with is it Damn You're Married or that which?
Wait, You're Married?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's what I was listening to.
That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So what'd you think about that one?
I like it. I like that one. It was a good conversation. The story
cool.
about.
Oddly enough, the other gentleman who was on our show is also my ex-boyfriend.
Huh.
His face.
I know. He's like, now I'm gonna have to go back.
Now, wait a minute.
And 3 more questions.
Now wait a minute. How do you pull that? But you know what? I'm gonna let that go. I can only take so much for it right now.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
You guys are welcome back anytime. And definitely, where can they check out your podcast or?
We're still in the
Future
process
site?
of launching that, but it will be. It's entitled "The Way We See It," and we like to offer social commentary and just its effect on our culture and on our generation. So
Absolutely.
Perfect.
please be on the lookout for it.
So as soon as you guys have launched, maybe we'll have you guys back and you guys can
Properly launch it. Yeah.
properly launch it.
That
Yeah,
sounds great. That sounds great. And I'll have 3 more questions. That
Do it.
not a problem. So yeah, definitely with us. Like, oh yeah, do you have any gift giving advice, or how do you guys split the holidays? You can reach us at bedlovebeyond@gmail.com. Also, go to our website www.bedlovebeyond.com. Also, you can give us a call or text us at 201-862-8BED. That is 201-862-8233. Also, check out our Facebook, and you can talk to our fans and fellow listeners at facebook.com/bedlovebeyond. And you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube at bedlovebeyond. So thank you guys, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace.